Hello guys, in this video I'm going to talk about one of the new feature which introduced by GitHub. The feature is called GitHub Models. This model designed to help developer to explore and use AI model directly within the GitHub web interface. The great thing about this feature is that you no need to switch to different tool or workspace. You can test and compare different AI models right where you are and making your workflow smoother and more effective, and it's 100% free. With the GitHub models, you can interact with some of the top AI models like Meta's Llama, GPT-4o, 4o Mini, and Microsoft Pi models. We can straight away use it. The integration especially useful if you are developing AI application. You can experiment with different models and the configuration directly within GitHub Codespaces or Visual Studio Code. In this video, I will show you how to get access to GitHub models and how to use the playground and how to integrate it into Visual Studio Code. So once you go to this GitHub marketplace and select the models, and you can choose any models to apply to access those model. Once you get access, you can access any models. For example, if you want to access OpenAI GPT-4o Mini, select this model, and here you get the option to join the waitlist. So you have to use this option to enroll to the waitlist. Let us assume you get the access rights. Once you get the access rights, you can see the option, the prompt, enter a message. In the below, they provided some of the example, the prompt, and you get some other information about the model, Azure OpenAI service related to GPT-4 information. Most of the information available this model, like evaluation, you can go and check it out, the model information, transparency, and the other license information. In the right side, you can see the model information also. Just give the summary of this model and the context window, the input and output, and when is the last training of this model, other information. Go to the playground. Here you can see the model. As I mentioned, you get any one of the model access. You can access any models. So here you can quickly switch one model to another model. Now I selected OpenAI GPT-4o. If I want to go to Mini, I can just select this model. So easily switch over to the other model quickly. And the right side, you can see the information, system prompt, max token, temperature, topi, some other parameters here. If you go to the details, we get other information about the model. I go back to the parameter. And in the playground, you can see the two options, one for chat and another one for code. In the chat, we can test our prompt. Here they provided some of pre-template prompt. I just select first prompt here, this one, selected. I send this prompt and GPT-4o Mini creating the response based on my prompt. Fine. The second option, you can see the code. In the code, the right side, you can see you can select the language. Okay, yeah, I need the sample code related to Python or maybe JavaScript or REST API. You can choose which code base you want. So here I selected the Python. The next, you can select the SDK. You want to use OpenAI SDK or you want to use Azure AI Interface SDK. So if you select Azure AI Interface SDK, based on that, the code slightly is changed. Same like for OpenAI here. So I selected the OpenAI here. Based on that, the code has been changed. The next step, we will see how we can integrate it into Visual Studio Code. So here they provided some sample code. So our idea here is we're going to take this complete code, Visual Studio. From Visual Studio, we are going to send our prompt, we get the result. If you go to the OpenAI, the API key, here you can see they pass the GitHub token. So we have to use our own GitHub token to assign as a API key. From there, we can able to connect this model and test in the Visual Studio Code. To create the GitHub token, go to the settings page. Once you landed settings page, scroll down, completely down. You can see the option developer settings, personal access token. There are two options, one for classic and another one for beta. Better go with the beta version, is super easy compared to classic one. So I choose this one beta and use the option generate new token. You have to fill all the required fields so to generate the token. Once you enter, if you click the generate token, the token has been generated. You copy the token into your notepad just for temporary purpose. Once token has been generated, go back to our playground, the code. The first step, you have to install the OpenAI package. This one you have to install. To install this one, go to the Visual Studio Code, terminal. You have to run the pip command. So pip install OpenAI. So once the OpenAI package get installed, you can just copy the complete code from here, the import OS. Just copy the code and paste it here. That's it. The next step, so here you have to use your GitHub token. I have my GitHub token. I just place it, my token. Yeah, that's it. Click this run button. Application has started. Our prompt is what is the capital of France? We send this prompt to the model and we get the response. The capital of France is Paris. So far we understand how to apply the GitHub model request. Second, how to use in the playground. Third, we'll see how to use in Visual Studio Code. There is another way we can run this sample using GitHub Codespace. For that, I go to the model. Here you can see the option get started. Click this button. There is a pop-up window. It will come. Here there are some information about which language you want and what type of SDK you want to use. And there are steps how to integrate this model into the code base. The main focus here, run with Codespace. You have to select this button, click this button. It will come the sample GitHub/Codespace models. To use this button to create the new Codespace, once a sample get loaded, here you can see the samples folder. There are different type of sample, one for REST, JavaScript, Python. We are focusing on Python, so I select this Python folder and which model you want to use. Next, which SDK you want to use. I want to use this OpenAI and basics.py. So the same code which we seen in the Visual Studio Code, we have to update the GitHub token. So that information available in this file env sample. Here we have to update the token. So I just copy paste the token which we already defined in the code. Copy and paste it here. Yeah. Once done, go to basics. Once done, go to the file and start the application. Here we get the same result what we get in Visual Studio. So this is the basics of GitHub models. In upcoming videos, we use this model to develop our application.